Okay, so another cause of stress beside work is life events. So big events that happen in your life. Holmes and Raw, 1967, developed a scale, a self-report psychometric test in order to evaluate life events and people's general health because of these life events. So major events such as death, divorce, unemployment and severe illness can be used to calculate levels of stress and consequently to predict illness. And this is Holmes 1967, Holmes and Raw 1967. Okay, the Social Readjustment Rating Scale, SRRS, is defined stress in terms of the change caused to a person's life. The change can be positive, negative or neutral, but it would still be stressful by definition because it requires a big change. So when we have to change our lifestyle, and they call it a substantial adjustment to the environment, the likelihood of stress is high. So Holmes and Raw, they first examined medical records of around 5,000 people, and they found that in many cases, significant life events occurred in the months preceding the onset of illness. So from their findings that stress was causing ill health in the 5,000 patients, they selected 43 of the life events that were most common, and they asked a sample of 394 people to rate the degree of social readjustment required for each event. For example, a score of 100 for readjustment after a spouse's death, or a score of 50 after a marriage breakdown. Now, based on these results of the 394 people rating the 43 life events for adjustment, they constructed the SRRS, the Social Readjustment Rating Scale. Now, each life event was ranked and assigned a number of life change units, LCUs, and these were from 100 to 11. A person's stress score is the sum of all the life events units for the events that have happened in the previous 12 months. So some of the ranks were number 1 was death of a spouse, number 2 was divorce, 3rd in the ranking was marital separation, 4th in the ranking was jail term, 5 death of a close family member, 6 personal injury, and then if you go down to 12 it's gain a new family member. And all of these can be seen as positive or negative, but all require a lot of adjustment, and it's this adjustment that causes the stress. Now, Kanner agreed that, social life does cause stress. However, he believed that it was more to do with hassles as a predictor of stress and illness. So these are hassles like losing your keys, losing things in general, forgetting things, breaking things. And he believed that these were a more accurate way of predicting ill health in people. So the relatively minor events, namely, the general hassles of everyday life, but these could be cancelled out by the uplifts of everyday life. So he invented a psychometric test, self-report again, of the hassles and the uplift scale. And they were administered once a month for 10 consecutive months to a community sample of 100 middle-aged adults in California. So this is a longitudinal study because they're looking at stress development over a long period of time. And it was repeated measures designed because of the 100 middle-aged participants. They filled out both the life event scale as well as the hassles and uplift scales. They then had their psychological symptoms of stress assessed using the Hopkins symptom checklist and the Bradburn moral scale. Now, 9 subjects dropped out, so the attrition wasn't too bad considering it was longitudinal. From this small scale study, it was found that there was a significant difference between the psychometric tests, and that hassle scales was a much better predictor of psychological and physiological symptoms than the major life events. So hassles, that gradual wearing down, seem to be more consistent month to month in predicting symptoms of stress and how poorly they actually physiologically got. So the more hassles the participants reported, the more symptoms they reported. Uplifts were positively rated to reduce symptoms for women, but not for men, so men didn't get the benefit of the uplifts. It was concluded the assessment of daily hassles and uplifts may be a better approach to the prediction of stress and ill health than the life events approach. So what we've got here is two psychometric tests. One is your daily hassles and uplift scale by Kanner, and your second one is the social readjustment rating scale when major life events happen. And both of these look at life, social situations causing stress and the stress causing ill health.